packed and you're ready to see the world. Glamour and excitement await you. You're off to Hong Kong. Forget fabulous Manhattan and the world-famous Times Square. The real crossroads of the world is Hong Kong. This city is packed to the gills with people from all over the world doing business. Exotic foods, vibrant culture, and a skyline that lights up the night. It's a destination that rivals the world's capitals in energy and verve. If you can make it there, you probably work very hard. Uncle Foreigner loves Hong Kong, and we've been lucky enough to visit far more often than a younger me would have even thought possible. We've had Indian food in Kowloon, a picnic in Victoria Park, a visit with the Big Buddha on Lantau Island, and a picture with Bruce Lee on the Walk of Stars, and a Prosecco at Pizza Express. Can one truly say that one has had enough of Hong Kong? Well, I wouldn't go that far, but a visit there does blow up the Uncle Foreigner budget pretty badly, and the rooms we can afford are only like 6 by 8 feet. Room enough for a bed, but not much else. So here is the secret I begrudgingly share with those who are willing and true. 𝗖𝗵 Island. I've shared our route, but how does one actually find 𝗖𝗵 Island? We arranged our first day there kind of by accident. Exhausted by the bureaucracy of yet another visa run, Uncle Foreigner threw up our collective hands and said, let's just stay on the island where the airport is. Get in, get out, blah. But we misremembered the name of the airport island, and by the time we realized our mistake, we were already in love with 𝗖𝗵. It's a harrowing journey by land and by sea to get to 𝗖𝗵 Island, but the goal is worth it, I promise. The Airport Express will bring you direct to Central. Then you must cross the pedestrian bridge at the IFC Mall to the ferry terminal. But as the boat leaves the dock, the hustle and bustle of the city already begins to fall away. Depending on the winds that day, the ferry may rock, with a chance of sea spray. It's perilous, but don't neglect the view from the porthole. As the urban landscape falls away, the natural beauty of Hong Kong, the territory, begins to reveal itself. From the decks, one can spot a uniquely Hong Kong bit of architecture. The holes in these buildings are for dragons. The dragons that live in the mountains need a path to the sea. Uncle Foreigner has it on good authority from a travel show we once watched. But endure this half-hour ride from the city center and you'll arrive in 𝗖𝗵 Island, a sleepy bedroom community paradise. Rolling green hills, mansions, fishing shacks, and secluded beachscapes. Are you strong of spirit? You must be to make this somewhat inconvenient journey. But are you kind of heart? It's required if I am to continue sharing my secret with you. 𝗖𝗵 is not some expat's playground, a pleasure palace for you to continue your extended adolescence. They've been fighting off ruinous developments for years. One such project was a heliport in the bay. So be cool. All right, let's go. Our first trip to 𝗖𝗵 Island, the one that was an accident, we were having an extended series of bad China days. But from the second we disembarked the ferry and saw the bike racks by the docks, we were charmed. We arrived with no pre-booked accommodations, which terrified the non-backpacking among our crew. But the rooms for rent on 𝗖𝗵 Island do not have an internet presence. You must be brave and ask around. The lady at the grocery store will give you a fair deal for the rooms upstairs. But beware room 2B. The one facing the street with the balcony? That's the one we like to stay in, and we'll be disappointed if it's occupied. Airbnb is also a thing, but it brings with it the specter of roommates. Also, there's a hotel, but what's the fun of that? The 𝗖𝗵cie_foreigner style is to pick a sea-facing restaurant and watch the ships bring in deliveries all afternoon. In the evening, we relocate to a street-facing cafe to watch the crowds of people come in off the ferry, surging and receding, just like the waves they just conquered. If that sounds too boring, we won't be insulted if you stay away. I dare you to take on the food offerings of 𝗬𝗵cie Island. Only those with the biggest of appetites should even attempt. But if you're looking for cheap food, maybe Hong Kong in general isn't for you. There are no cars on 𝗬𝗵cie Island. Residents and hikers alike must power their journey on foot. 𝗬𝗵cie Island is gorgeous, and the hike from village to village is non-taxing, but also filled with snakes and ludicrously large centipedes. Look it up, there's pictures on the internet. On the day I played commuter, taking the early morning ferry to Hong Kong Island for some business at the consulate, I grabbed a coffee at a pop-up stand on the way to the ferry. Echoes of a life that's very familiar to me. This is a family island. We once crashed a Halloween party for kids by hanging out at the Llama Grill. Candy is international. Village life on 𝗬𝗵cie Island is a place where the community message board is a chain link fence in the center of town. It's got bulletins offering English handyman services, Filipino childcare, as well as lost computer notices and job offers. Is it that such an isolated people don't have access to the internet? Of course not. This is 2018. They've had a message board since 2002 and an email newsletter. But they've held on to that small town charm. A dangerous siren song for a burnt out ESL teacher from China. A big part of the appeal of 𝗬𝗵cie Island is the comfort. The food, the language, it's all familiar. It's hard to tell who's who on 𝗬𝗵cie Island. New commuters, lifelong residents, tourists, day trippers. Maybe it's presumptuous of me, but it really seemed like everyone belonged. Given Hong Kong's history of colonialism and trade, a Hong Konger can look many different ways. And we all have to take the ferry if we're going or coming. You can even buy Fritos there, for heaven's sake. But you still have access to the sophisticated, the cosmopolitan, and the international. It's all of the good qualities of Hong Kong, but in a quieter, more peaceful package. Which means there's a secret danger on 𝗬𝗵cie Island. It was there that we faced the possibility that we might be ready to leave China. Instead, we moved back to Luzhou from Lijiang, which, at the time, was where we were living miserably. But it was on 𝗬𝗵cie Island that we made the decision to cut and run. It will change your life, this sequestered, sea-gazing hideaway. It shook off our cobwebs and reinvigorated our spirit. And it could happen to you too.